How's it going, everyone? Austin Honecker here. I just want to come on here for a while and give my review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's 2-year anniversary show from last night, which was October 6th, 2021. I gotta say, it was awesome from start to finish. For the matches, match 1, it was the Super Elite, which are Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Adam Cole, versus the Jurassic Express, which are Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, and Bryan Danielson. That was a great match, but the ending to it, the Super Elite went over cause Adam Cole pinned Jungle Boy with the BTE trigger from Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Adam Cole. Match 2, it was Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish for the AEW TNT title. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Sammy Guevara went over and retained the AEW TNT title with the GTH. Well, after the match, the American Top Team, which are Dan Lambert, Andre Arlovsky, Junior Dos Santos, Austin Vanderford, and Paige Van Zant, along with Scorpio Sky, came out to surround Sammy Guevara. Well, Paige Van Zant got in the ring and distracted Sammy Guevara, and Scorpio Sky attacked Sammy Guevara from behind and beat the shit out of him, and then Austin Vanderford, Junior Dos Santos, and Andre Arlovsky came in the ring and were beating the shit out of Sammy Guevara as well, and Paige Van Zant joined in too. Well, Fuego del Sol came out to try to even the odds, and Fuego del Sol went after Scorpio Sky, beating the shit out of him, and then Austin Vanderford and Andre Arlovsky, along with Paige Van Zant, attacked Fuego del Sol, beating the shit out of him, while Junior Dos Santos was beating the shit out of Sammy Guevara. Well, the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho and Jake Hager, came out, and Chris Jericho beat the shit out of Junior Dos Santos and knocked him out of the ring, and Jake Hager beat the shit out of Austin Vanderford and Andre Arlovsky and knocked them out of the ring, and Scorpio Sky and Paige Van Zant retreated in the process, and as Fuego del Sol was checking on Sammy Guevara, Chris Jericho and Jake Hager were standing tall, and the American Top Team were out of the ring, and Dan Lambert got a microphone and cut a promo saying to Chris Jericho, Chris, you had a great professional wrestling career for over 30 years, but this town of Philly sucks and everything. And then Dan Lambert was also talking more shit, and Dan Lambert issued a challenge to the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara, next Saturday on AEW Dynamite. And Dan Lambert confirmed that it was going to be the Men of the Year, which are Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, and Junior Dos Santos, versus the Inner Circle, which are Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, and Sammy Guevara, in a 6-man tag team match in the American Top Team's home state of the home country of Miami, Florida, and everything. And Dan Lambert also confirmed that Jorge Masvidal was going to be standing by Dan Lambert himself, by the side of Dan Lambert himself and everything. And then Chris Jericho got on the microphone and said that he didn't hear nothing Dan Lambert said, and Chris Jericho tried to talk, but the microphone cut out, and then Chris Jericho got a new microphone, and Dan Lambert was making fun of Chris Jericho, and Chris Jericho got on the microphone again and told Dan Lambert that the Inner Circle accepts, and they were going to beat the shit out of Men of the Year and the American Top Team and everything. That was cool. That was after the match, by the way. Match 3, it was Darby Allin versus Nick Comoroto. That was a great match, but the ending to it, Darby Allin went over with the coffin drop. Well, before the match, Darby Allin attacked Nick Comoroto out of the ring and beat the shit out of him, then put him in the ring. The match started, and then after the match, as Darby Allin and Sting were celebrating Darby Allin's victory, QT Marshall came into the ring and executed the diamond cutter on Sting, but Sting got up just seconds after that, and then Sting executed the Scorpion Death Drop and laid QT Marshall out, and Sting and Darby Allin continued to celebrate and everything. That was cool. Match 4, it was Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. That was a great match. But the ending to it, Serena Deeb went over with the Serenity Lock. Where after the match, Serena Deeb got Hikaru Shida's 50th victory trophy, and Serena Deeb knocked Hikaru Shida out with it by striking her in the face, striking her over the head with it and everything. Striking her over the head with it. That was cool. And that was match 4, by the way. And match 5, it was a casino ladder match to determine the number 1 contender for the AEW title. The contestants in the match were Matt Hardy, Jon Moxley, Pac, Lance Archer, Orange Cassidy, Andrade El Idolo, and a mystery opponent, and the mystery opponent was revealed to be Hangman Page. That was a great match. The casino ladder match was a great match, but the ending to it, Hangman Page went over because Hangman Page climbed the ladder and retrieved the poker chip. Now, besides the matches, Jon Moxley cut a promo talking about how he's been in ladder matches and how he has a 3-month-old daughter that's insane and everything, and then talked about how he's wrestled in Philly a lot in his professional wrestling career, and talked about how AEW was his home and how he was going to win the ladder match and take back the AEW title and everything. That was cool. CM Punk came out and cut a promo talking about how he lived in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for 3 years, and talked about how he would live, breathe, and eat. He would live and breathe professional wrestling, and talked about how he loves that he's back in professional wrestling and everything. And CM Punk also talked about. CM Punk also issued an open challenge to Daniel Garcia this Friday on AEW Rampage and everything. And after CM Punk cut his promo, CM Punk took off his shoes and gave them to a fan in the crowd and everything. That was cool. Arn Anderson Arn Anderson cut a promo in Cody Rhodes' backyard, and Arn Anderson had a trash can with fire in it, and Arn Anderson was talking about how Malachi Black was a dangerous man, and how Cody Rhodes has been all Hollywood lately and everything, and Arn Anderson took Cody Rhodes' suit jacket and burned it in the trash can, and Cody Rhodes came out from his back porch and said, Arn? And Arn Anderson said, well, it's about time you showed up, Cody. And then Cody Rhodes was saying, Arn, that's an expensive suit. And Arn Anderson was talking shit towards Cody Rhodes, and then Arn Anderson told Cody Rhodes, he said, Cody, get your ass down here. And Cody Rhodes came down, stepped off his porch into his backyard, and Arn Anderson continued to harass Cody Rhodes as Cody Rhodes came down to him, and Arn Anderson was talking about, well, Arn Anderson was saying towards Cody Rhodes, he was talking more shit towards Cody. Arn Anderson was talking more shit towards Cody Rhodes, saying, why don't you paint a star on your face if you want? You can paint a star on your face if you want to. And Cody Rhodes got offended, and Arn Anderson told Cody Rhodes to take off his tie. So Cody Rhodes took off his tie, and Arn Anderson told Cody Rhodes to throw his tie in the trash can. Cody Rhodes said, Arn, you can't throw that away. So Arn Anderson slapped Cody Rhodes in the face and said, you threw us away, damn it. And so Arn Anderson and Cody Rhodes were staring at each other, like giving each other a dirty look and everything. That was cool. Bobby Fish cut a promo talking about how he's coming to AEW and how he's going to take the AEW TNT title off Sammy Guevara and everything. That was cool. The Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, cut a promo, and Max Caster done a rap on the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Pena El Cerro Miedo, and Max Caster even confirmed that him and Anthony Bowens are going after the Lucha Brothers on AEW Rampage this Friday for the AEW Tag Team titles, and Anthony Bowens was going on talking shit about the Lucha Brothers, saying how him and Max Caster were going to take the AEW Tag Team titles off the Lucha Brothers on Rampage this Friday and everything, and talked about how that was a mic drop and everything, the Acclaimed pretty much challenged the Lucha Brothers for the AEW Tag Team titles and everything. That was cool. Tony Schiavone and referee Aubrey Edwards were in the ring, and Tony Schiavone revealed that on January 5th, AEW Dynamite was moving to TBS. And Tony Schiavone also revealed that AEW is presenting a new championship. And that's the TBS Championship, and it'll be in the women's division. And AEW will be having a tournament to crown the first ever TBS Women's Champion. And Tony Schiavone had referee Aubrey Edwards unveil the belt, the title. So referee Aubrey Edwards unveiled the TBS Women's Champion, the TBS Women's title and everything. That was cool. Jim Ross interviewed Darby Allin, and Jim Ross was talking about Jim Ross interviewed Darby Allin. Well, Jim Ross was talking about how MJF was an asshole last week because of the comments he made towards Darby Allin and everything. And Jim Ross also asked Darby Allin about why he paints his face and everything. And Darby Allin was talking about his uncle dying in a car wreck while he being drunk behind the wheel when Darby Allin himself was 5 years old. And Darby Allin was talking about how he faced death that day, and that's the reason why he paints his face, because 50% of him is dead inside and everything. And Darby Allin was talking about how MJF tried to get under his skin and people were expecting him to hit MJF and everything, but Darby Allin was saying that he didn't hit MJF because he knows his intentions, and he knew that that's what MJF wanted, and that he's faced many people like that and everything as well. And Darby Allin was talking about how MJF has never dealt with a man like Darby Allin himself and everything. That was cool. The Dark Order, which are Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, Alex Reynolds, 5-10, Colt Cabana, and Anna Jay, cut a promo, and Evil Uno was talking about, the Dark Order were pretty much talking about how they should all lead themselves and everything and not really have a leader, just do their own thing and everything. And then, Evil Uno was talking about how they should do that and everything, how they should just do their own thing and not have a leader and everything. And then Alex Reynolds was talking about how they should take a voting on it and everything. And then the Dark Order had a disagreement, but Anna Jay stepped in and asked the Dark Order if they were together or not. Well, the Dark Order obliged and everything, which that was cool. Tony Schiavone interviewed Dante Martin, and Tony Schiavone introduced Dante Martin and everything, and then Dante Martin took the microphone and was saying how he's had a great run in AEW and how he's and that he was issuing an open challenge to anyone on the AEW roster and everything. And then the lights went out and Malachi Black appeared, and Dante Martin turned around. Malachi Black blew black mist in Dante Martin's face, and then Malachi Black executed the black mass to Dante Martin and laid him out, and Dante Martin went out. After Malachi Black sprayed the mist in Dante Martin's face and laid him out with the black mass, the lights went out. Then the lights came back on. Dante Martin was outside the ring, and Malachi Black picked up the microphone, and Malachi Black said, the House of Black accepts, and everything. That was cool. Ricky Starks came out with a microphone and cut a promo talking about how the FTW title was represented in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and how Taz was the best FTW champion and everything, and talked about how he was the best FTW champion and everything as well. And Ricky Starks was also talking about how he wanted to fight Brian Cage here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to a Philly street fight. But typical Brian Cage didn't show up for work and everything. Well, Ricky Starks continued to talk more shit, but Brian Cage came out, and Brian Cage attacked Ricky Starks and beat the shit out of him. And as Brian Cage was beating the shit out of Ricky Starks, the rest of Team Taz came out. The rest of Team Taz, which are Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook, came out and grabbed Ricky Starks and saved him. Yeah, the rest of Team Taz, which are Powerhouse Hobbs and Hook, came out and grabbed Ricky Starks and pulled him out of the ring and everything. And Brian Cage was staring down. Brian Cage and Team Taz were staring each other down and everything. That was cool. AEW aired a video package of some of the women's division talking about the TBS Women's Championship and the TBS Women's Championship tournament and everything, and the contestants that were on there, the women that were on there talking about it were Thunder Rosa, Sky Blue, Ruby Soho, and Jade Cargill, along with Mark Sterling. Which that was cool. Well, yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Excuse me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. Alex Marvez interviewed Darby Allin, and Alex Marvez was informing Darby. Alex Marvez interviewed Darby Allin, and Alex Marvez was informing Darby Allin that MJF issued a challenge to Darby Allin next week on AEW Dynamite, and Alex Marvez asked Darby Allin if he accepts. Darby Allin said, "Of course I accept. Never thought you'd ask." Well, a limousine popped up, and Darby Allin took off his shirt and put his skateboard down and everything, and Shawn Spears attacked Darby Allin from behind with a steel chair, and Wardlow and FTR, which are Wardlow, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler came out of the limousine, and Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler ganged up on Darby Allin and beat the shit out of him. And Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler slammed Darby Allin head first into the garage door, and Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler got a steel barricade and a stop sign and laid it down, and then, Wardlow executed the F10 on Darby Allin on top of the barricade and stop sign, and then MJF, and MJF got out of the limousine and took Darby Allin's skateboard and started choking him with it. And then the Pinnacle, which are MJF, Wardlow, Shawn Spears, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler, left and went back in the limousine and left the arena. That was cool. Leo Rush cut a promo talking about how he was a fan of Dante Martin and everything, and talked about how Dante Martin issued the open challenge to Malachi Black and everything. And Leo Rush was also talking about how he can help Dante Martin within his match with Malachi Black, and talked about how all Dante Martin has to do is get a hold of him and his people and everything, and he'd help him and everything. That was cool. And Tony Schiavone interviewed Britt Baker, Rebel, and Jamie Hayter. And Tony Schiavone was talking about how, Tony Schiavone asked Britt Baker about the TBS Women's title and how she felt about it and everything, about the TBS Women's title and the TBS Women's title championship tournament and everything, and how she felt about it. And Britt Baker was saying, bravo, Schiavone. Now, I was hoping for the Cartoon Network title, but instead we got the TBS Women's title. And now now for the women in this TBS Women's Championship tournament, you jealous bitches can now fight each other for the TBS Women's title and quit obsessing over me for the AEW Women's title. Because I'm Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and everything. That was cool. Now, besides all that, Jim Ross, now, besides the matches, the promos, and the segments, Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Excalibur done commentary throughout the whole show. They done awesome as usual. And the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Okay. Rick Knox refereed the match between... the referees for the event were Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards. Rick Knox refereed the match between the Super Elite versus the Jurassic Express, Christian Cage, and Bryan Danielson. Paul Turner refereed the match between Sammy Guevara versus Bobby Fish for the AEW TNT title. Bryce Remsburg refereed the match between Darby Allin versus Nick Comoroto. Aubrey Edwards refereed the match between Serena Deeb versus Hikaru Shida. And Mike Posey, Rick Knox, Paul Turner, Bryce Remsburg, and Aubrey Edwards refereed the casino ladder match to determine the number one contender for the AEW title. All the referees done awesome as usual. Now the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite for next Saturday hasn't been announced yet. But the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night, it's going to be CM Punk versus... The match card for tomorrow night's All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage, it's going to be CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia, the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, versus the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, for the AEW Tag Team titles. Wait a minute. The match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night, it's going to be CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia, the Lucha Brothers, which are Rey Fenix and Penta El Cerro Miedo, versus the Acclaimed, which are Max Caster and Anthony Bowens, for the AEW Tag Team titles. Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage in a Philly street fight for the FTW title, and Jade Cargill versus Sky Blue. Those are the matches that have been announced. Now, the match card for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Rampage tomorrow night looks like it's going to be awesome. Can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to it. But anyway, I just wanted to come on here for a while and give them a review for All Elite Wrestling's AEW Dynamite's 2-year anniversary show from last night, which was October 6th, 2021. Like I said, it was awesome from start to finish. And with that being said, my name is Austin Honecker, and I will catch your ass down the road. Peace out.